An apparent lover's quarrel left a San Rafael man millimeters from death. His girlfriend allegedly stabbed him in the skull with a 12-inch knife. Joe Vasquez has his surreal survival story. Joe?
Ken, it must have been quite a sight to see this man, 40 years old, on a sidewalk just staggering along with a knife sticking straight out of his head a few weeks ago. Well, what is even more remarkable, perhaps, is that he's living to tell about it. Jimmy McIntosh, the victim, got into an argument with his girlfriend last month that ended with him getting stabbed in the head with a 12-inch knife. Witnesses saw Jimmy stumbling on the sidewalk.
It was shiny, it was bright and shiny with a handle on it, yeah. And it was coming right, and I looked closer and it was coming right out of the top of his head. And I said, how could he still be alive?
The knife was wedged into his skull. 3 weeks later now, Jimmy tells the Marin Independent Journal, quote, "It was surreal. There was a large kitchen knife sticking out of my head. I actually tried to pull it out myself. I thought for sure I was going to die."
Vertically oriented, coming in right about here and up about 12 inches.
Dr. Tarun Arora, chief of neurosurgery at Marin General, says he had to use bolt cutters to remove a big portion of the knife. He says Jimmy is very lucky he didn't pull it out.
Yeah, he actually tried to pull it out, and I think it's quite fortunate that he wasn't able to. It had hit the side of that major draining vein to the center of the brain.
If he had succeeded?
If he had succeeded, maybe he would have gotten lucky, but he had also had some bleeding on the outside of the brain as a result of this. So that probably would have gotten worse and he would have slipped into a coma.
Glenda Bernardini is charged with several felony counts, including assault with a deadly weapon. She has posted bail and is now out of jail. Glenda was Jimmy's girlfriend. Jimmy was out of the hospital in 4 days. I asked his doctor, is that some kind of miracle here that, they were able to remove the knife, they removed that other piece you saw in the x-ray, and that he's out in 4 days? And he said, what was more miraculous was that Jimmy was talking to him the whole time. He was conscious, he was not in pain, but he came millimeters from his death. Reporting live, I'm Joe Vasquez, KPIX5.
If Miss Bernardini is convicted, she could spend more than a decade in prison.